Hi guys, my name's Josh Strapczynski and today I'm going to share with you my ultimate travel hacking guide. We pick up all sorts of crazy airfares, business class for hundreds of dollars, cheap hotels, we negotiate on Airbnbs, we even go into the cheapest insurance options and the best travel credit cards. Now you can read all of this and I strongly recommend it at joshstraw.com. ultimate-travel-hacking-guide. The URL will be in the bottom of the YouTube video. Read the blog, there's lots of other things I release as well. Now the most important type of flight deal is the Airfare. And this is an example on the right hand side. This happened just recently. Dallas to Melbourne, Australia, $157 US return. That's about 200 Australian dollars. That was an Airfare up for about half an hour and it was on Virgin's side, Virgin Airways. If you booked it, even though it's miles below what they should have been charging, they honour these fares 95% of the time. We've seen business class airfares for only a few $100s more than that to Australia and many, many more. The best place to see them, hacktheflight.net, and if you click on this top one, this is where all the very best deals are. By clicking into them, you can go straight through to that deal page. This is like an aggregator for all of the major travel hack sites. There's some other ones listed in the blog, and there's also ways to find clearance sales and find the cheapest day of the week to travel on using Google Flights. If you haven't used Google Flights before, this is one of the easiest and quickest where the cheap flight days are, and also just scan all of the airlines very, very quickly. The other thing you have to do is watch the video on the ITA matrix. Skip legging is an incredible way to knock off huge percentages off your flying costs. I'm in here at the moment. I'll give you a very quick rundown of how it works. If I want to fly from New York, actually let's say from Toronto down to New York, then I book a one-way. I use the advanced controls and I say I want it to stop in JFK, and down here I say show me all of the airports within 2,000 miles. Now in the blog you'll see that I've put a link through to all of the airports across the world, and I do recommend you use as many as you can. But let's do this and let's see all of the flights for the month. Now what this is doing is saying, okay, we're going to find you an airfare that stops at JFK on the way through. And here it's found one. I'm going to show you it. I can't remember where this one stops. We're going to find out in a second. But the idea is you travel with carry-on only. And once it gets to JFK, you get off. Here we go. It goes Toronto to New York, JFK. Then there's a stopover. And then you go on to Norfolk. We don't want to go to Norfolk, we want to go to New York, so we'll get off here. This is $155 Canadian. They're not always going to be better than just the direct flight, so you always check that as well, but sometimes you can knock off up to 70 or 80% and still be going to exactly the same place. An example of this was I was in Vancouver, I needed to get to New York. It was, to Toronto. It was 50% cheaper to fly Vancouver to Toronto than Toronto to New York. And of course, I just skipped the bottom leg. That is a huge saving for exactly the same flight. Learn how to use the ITA matrix. Also, if you are going to be doing flying, and particularly finding business class fares, make sure you signed up to frequent flyer programs and learn from Point Hacker, the Points Guy, OzBargain, which credit cards you should have in your collection. Really good point hackers will sign up to all of the credit card bonuses every year. They'll get all these new cards, make one purchase with them, and then cancel the credit card. That's a great way to rack up 500,000 points. And if you're also booking business class flights on them, wow, you are kicking ass. All of that can be done on almost no money. Now, a few myths. You will not get crappy seats. They won't cancel on you last minute. These are legitimate flights. But on top of that, if you are going to do all this travel, then I want you to have the right tools. Make sure you've got all your passwords stored in a password keeper. I recommend 1Password. You need to download the TripIt app and learn how to store all of your booking reservations in it. It's incredible. Noise cancelling headphones are a must, as is a VPN. If you don't know what it is, read the guide, get my deal. And Uber and Airbnb. Speaking of Airbnb, people do not know that you can haggle on the Airbnb, and you absolutely should. It's a system where we're talking direct to owners who, if they don't make a booking, they earn $0. So they're willing, if you're the right guest, to drop their pricing. And there's a few tips in here, like search for new listings. Every day new listings are released on Airbnb, and inevitably people make the wrong choices. We've booked beautiful accommodation way below market rate before, just because we were the first in. Also, sometimes when you land, you might need to buy one expensive day or 2 expensive days on the weekend, but then you can start a whole new rental midweek and get a much better rate. So always be flexible with your dates and look around for when you might book them. But most importantly, don't be afraid to haggle on the price. I send out a whole heap of emails to people. They usually follow a script something like this, where we show that we are the right sort of people for your accommodation. And because we're this right person and you're kind of precious about your property, you think about dropping the price just for us. When you do that, don't use round numbers. Don't say, oh, I could do $50 a night. Say $51 a night. Psychologically, this has been proven in negotiation to have a huge effect. You can use it in business as well. Now, if you're an Australian, Southern Cross Travel Insurance is not only the best, but the cheapest in the market, and make sure you use Oz Bargains to find when they have their discounts. I always get a 10 to 15% discount off my Southern Cross. If you're not in Australia, or you're going to be traveling for more than 12 months, World Nomads are for you. I've been using them for the last little while. I've made a number of claims with them. They are not Southern Cross Travel Insurance, who are the best, but they come in a pretty close second, and I've got to say, they were very good recently when I needed medical help. For those on a short trip, credit card insurance is not bad, but you really do need to read the fine print. Now, for Australians, you have to have a 28 Degrees credit card. There are no transaction fees, and they exchange money at the spot rate. A lot of people get confused, and they think that they are getting the spot rate with their travel card because it says no fees. Au contraire, mon frère. That is not correct. In fact, how most of these people make their money is by charging you about a 5% conversion rate. That's true for Qantas card, for all sorts of bank cards. This is one of the best in the market, and there are a couple others, but these guys hands down are the best. For debit cards, you want to set up a Citibank Plus account. The only fees they'll take off of you are the standard account fees. Otherwise, it's free to use ATMs around the world, and you'll get the spot rate. I have tested this for years. It is brilliant. Finally, I can't push these guys hard enough. Transferwise is changing banking. They've just set up borderless bank accounts. Particularly if you're a nomad like myself and you're going to be collecting money overseas, this lets you have a virtual bank account in any country you want. My US clients pay into it like it's a local US account, totally fee-free. And all I pay is a 1% conversion charge if I want to convert it into a different currency. If I don't, I can just use it like a normal bank account. Best of all, it is completely free. You only pay if you use it. So if you set up an account today and never touch it, my friend, you will not pay $1. Please use my link. This is just a standard affiliate link. If you use it, you'll get $500 worth of free transfers to start with. That's pretty sweet. And I'll get $75 when you do make your first transfer. Not huge money, but I poured my soul into this, so I hope that you will use it. In summary, guys, travel hacking is absolutely brilliant. It lets you travel the world in style, do more, get more, enjoy more. please share this blog with as many people as you can. And if you've got any comments, tips, or recommendations, leave them in the comments and I will work it into the blog in a later edition. Thank you so much and travel well.